Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Looks like we got Ed Everett. Hey, Everett, how about that call on oil, huh? Eh? As we talked about last year, I mean, it moves by price action. It doesn't move by all that junk, all that research. Anyway, Sergio, Andrew, Valerie, Michael, Maurizio, Kimberly, my lovely wife. Good morning, everybody. Kimberly Moore, good morning. Larry, Jacques, Francois, Kevin, Cliff, Sven, Valerie, David, Brian. Good morning, everybody. And if you want to chat with me like these fine folks, all you got to do is click the link right here. There's a little green overlay. It's a subscribe button. Just click that link. You're a subscriber. You can chat on the live stream. There you go. And once you're a subscriber, you might as well hit the bell with the doodads because I go live every morning. And if YouTube thinks you'll watch it, you'll get a notification. And on Tuesdays, I go live at 5 p.m. also, like another show, besides the morning show, where I do 30 minutes of your requests at the minimum. Lately, it's been running at least an hour, and it's always a good time. So if you've ever wanted me to dive into your stock that's not a big mover, not one of the daily movers, and you want to kind of know what's up, Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Open up your calendar app on your phone, pull it out, like set a reminder. Oh, I need to watch that. If you're here live and you're a subscriber and you're on the chat, you can request a ticker and I'll hit it for you. Otherwise, you can leave a comment down below if you're not watching this live and you're not on the chat, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Now, for those that like what I do, want to go deeper, there's a link in the description. So, good morning, everybody. Kevin, Craig, Don, Pat, good morning. Yeah, we've I got some ads out there, and Kimberly's seen a few of them, apparently, a couple of them. She's just wondering if anybody else has seen any of my YouTube ads. Yeah, if you're here, it probably means you're already supporting me, unless you're brand new, just found me. And maybe YouTube's smart enough not to show you the ads. Anyway, yeah, Kimberly helped make one of the ads. That's why she was excited about it. Anyway, all right. Let's jump into today. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Jeez. Don't trade if you can't handle the losses. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. I may never get another dang prediction right again. Although the track record shows, yeah, I get it pretty dang close. All right. A lot of the time. Not every time, but a lot of the time. I get pretty darn good. Anyway, this presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, and is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. Remember, don't buy stocks, don't buy options, don't buy cryptos, don't buy Forex, don't buy futures, don't buy all that crap. Don't buy it, don't sell it. Be careful. You can lose money doing this game, all right? And don't buy crap from gurus. Most of us are full of bull crap. I mean, call a spade a spade. Most people doing what I do don't give a flying flip about you. I don't care what they say. Most of them don't. I mean, I'm around a lot of them. A lot of them don't give a hoot about the customer. They just care about how much you spend with them. And I mean, that's an important part. I can't do this if you don't support me, but I really do care about you. I spent all day yesterday trying to help answer questions. I wasn't getting it. I mean, in Discord, one of my services, Greenlight Income Alerts, there was a question about some trade management, and I didn't understand the question. I mean, I wasn't trying to be, for those of you that were on here that were in the conversation, I wasn't trying to be a pain in the butt. I didn't understand your question. So if you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor who can give you advice based on your financial situation. So here's the calendar. And probably got to refresh it for today. We are on Thursday. Got unemployment coming out, pretty much in line. Not really a big shocker. I mean, it's just right there. So, yeah, it's the ads are for Crypto Unleashed and Greenlight Income Alerts. The one I was just talking about, we had a little conversation in. And then on Friday, tomorrow, we're getting the average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate, and then FOMC Waller speaking at noon. So all this hits before the market opens, including the Canada, the 51st Great White State up there. And then we have U.S. news, and then get that Fed member Waller. And then that kind of wraps up the week. And it's just kind of been a benign week of floating. As I've kind of alluded to all week, we're just going to kind of bob along. Are we turning bearish? More bearish than we've been? I mean, golly, I was on X last night, formerly Twitter, and the amount of people that were looking for a Black Monday crash. I don't know where this came from. The market's just not set up for that. The price action doesn't support a giant, big crash. It just doesn't. The price action is indicative of turning bullish. Now, whether we struck the bottom yesterday or we striking the bottom coming up, I don't know. But October, let's look back. Let's do an exercise here in just a minute. So next week coming up, we have CPI, PPI, PPI on Wednesday, CPI on Thursday, and some consumer sentiment and stuff on Friday. So the first couple of days, kind of benign a little bit. And then Fed member Waller, he seems to like to speak a lot. So we've got this coming up. We do have Columbus Day on Monday, so that may be a weird market day. The market's open, but the banks are closed in the U.S., so makes for a weird day sometimes. And there you go. So next week, kind of a weird day, weird week. And S&P 500 earnings should be ramping up. We should start seeing that hitting next week. They'll really go into full effect the second and third weeks of October. And we'll have financials, then we'll roll into tech. And so that's kind of the big pattern. And I think that may be the catalyst that takes us higher. I don't believe the market reacts to news, but it kind of changes the mood, changes our whole mood. All right, as a society, it's the people that make the difference. As I was joking with Kimberly last night, I won't repeat the whole thing. Anyway, all right, let's look at something here. Now, look, look at this line. If we move this line right here, if I can just select the line, not the head and shoulders pattern, just the line, come on, just the line. Look right there. Look at that. It's going right up the line. I drew that line, before we even got down here. Drew that line. That may be exactly what we're doing. Be careful out there. This can be a bottom. Now, we could go for a lower low. Of course, we could come all the way down to 4160. Of course. Do we have to? Shoot, no. All right. Can this be the bottom? Yeah, it pretty much can be the bottom. So be careful out there. All right. This is a bottoming structure. This is not a continuation lower. So, hey, wrong numbers here. This is a bottoming structure. Now, anybody see Tesla yesterday? Holy moly. Holy guacamole. Now, what I wanted to talk about, though, right here, October. Let's rewind a year. Everybody was looking for a bigger crash. I mean, it was pretty epic bearishness. We did get a lower low right here on the 13th. Kind of popped up, flushed it out to the 13th, and then, almost sneezed. Excuse me. And it was off to the races. We haven't been back down there. All right, that second week of October. Launch off, baby. Is that what we're going to do this time? Could we get that one more lower low? Yeah, sure as shoot we can. So be careful out there. We may get one more dip into the next week. It could be the 13th, Friday the 13th. I mean, be careful, all right? We don't usually bottom on a Friday, but this thing could bottom out the day before. This could be the bottom now. We're in a bottoming, okay? Be careful. Watch your money. Nobody's going to watch it better than you. And know when you're wrong, all right? This doesn't look like we're going to get another big flush. It doesn't really look like that. It's possible, but it looks like we're almost done. Especially when you look at the MACD, we're getting divergence. We can look at the awesome oscillator, we're getting divergence. So there's lots of indications that we are just about done on this move right here, and we're going to go higher. And is it today? I don't know. Is it tomorrow? I don't know. Is it next week? I don't know. It's uncertain until we start breaking them back above this stuff right here. Most aggressively above that 43.30 on the S&P. Break above those highs, that's the most aggressive. More confirmation when we get above this junk up here. You're like, well, JT, that's already getting close to 4,600. Yeah. Well, we got some stuff to work through. Really, back above 4,400 is probably the big indicator that we're going on up to a new high. Now, I'm talking about new high, like zoom out higher than this high. All right. And yeah, that's like 600 points higher than we are right now on the S&P. All right. Any questions about that, you can hit me in the chat or ask me in Discord later. But that's kind of the path right now, big picture. And now, small picture, we got some chop and some bottoming action to deal with here. ES is retracing a little bit off of that nice move up yesterday. It didn't get back above the day before. So this is it's left a question, like question mark, right? For me anyway. Let me pull up a chart, and I shared it with myself. Let me pull this up. For those of you in Discord, a few days ago, I guess a couple weeks ago, I drew a 5-wave down. We actually hit that 5-wave target. You know, we came into a 1382, could go down to a 1618. That first move up, retraced, hit a 618, pushed us out, and we topped at a 100% extension higher. That can be a 3-wave move, and that was like a 3-wave and a 3-wave and a 3-wave to the top, which is a weird structure. Usually the last move is a 5-wave, and that was a very clear 3-wave, so it looks more like it's a nested 1-2-1-2, but this is a question mark overnight, this action right here. This is a 30-minute chart, if you're asking, and if we break above this, get this 618, that's more indicative that we're going to see continuation higher. So immediately on the futures, this is ES, S&P 500 futures, if you're unfamiliar. That 43.32 area right there, critical. We push up through it, and it happens to be right where the pivot is too. We push up through that. It's kind of indicating we might go on higher from here. So I'm definitely watching this. I was watching all the way down to the 1 minute yesterday, watching this, how this developed. And I'd like to see it break higher. Now this right here, this one right here was a lower high than this one over here. So we haven't finished up whatever corrective junk this is so far. Let me push down one more time and then work on the breakout. Now this fib is to this high right here and this low, and it was measuring this push down right here, not anything correcting off of this high right here. So popping back over to the live chart. Now that we've got that, we'd have to go down to the 30-minute to see the same kind of chart. And there you go, the bigger flush already in progress there. So we go from the low. Awesome. Love the buttons on here. Sometimes. And the sometimes is now. So right there from the low, right up here to the high. We could retrace in here. Now that, you can see that's very, if that was the move up, that was a diagonal. This is a corrective, and then we may get a bigger move up off of that. This does look kind of like B-wave-ish action, maybe. If it takes us back down here one more time into the 618, this may be a 3-wave correction up, and we may get that one more flush down next week. All right. Allergies still get me a little bit. Excuse me. So, unclear whether we've bottomed yet or we may make one more bottom. I am watching it closely like a hawk. In Q, a little more aggressive on the upside. Got above the 30-minute roadmap line, whereas ES hit its head on the 30-minute roadmap line. So NQ looking a little more bullish than ES. I do keep an eye, like these are almost equal size on my screen all the time, NQ and ES. You may be like, NQ. NQ is the NASDAQ futures, big tech futures. So, and big tech has been what's driving us, at least the Magnificent Seven. If you haven't been paying attention this year, that's what kind of mainstream media has named it. I have to latch on because if I call it anything else, nobody knows what the beep I'm talking about. So, Russell, let's jump back up to the daily on Russell because we completed the head and shoulders pattern. And we've just been testing the low here. If we break down much lower, we may go retest that, or we may go hit that fib and this fib, and we could wrap this thing up right down there. I have a friend of mine who's looking at IWM, and he thinks if we get below 159, which is all the way down here below the target, we get to below 159, watch out, we're probably heading to 120. We're way on down here. So be careful on IWM. But this is looking kind of like we're bottoming here also, and we could see a nice size rally back up into the 2200, 2000, 2200, or 2220 area on IWM. Oil. Ho, ho, ho. That's pretty close. I think we'll see it actually touch in the next couple days. That's, I'm waiting for what's going to happen next here. If we hold support here and turn up again, we're going on up probably through 100. Be another great opportunity. Pull this up. Pull this up. Yeah, take us up to at least 100 probably, if not on higher. 105. Be a really nice opportunity on oil. I needed to touch the roadmap line. I really do. I want it to do just like, I mean, we came up just shy 2 days last time. So we may get right in there around 80, just below 81. And that may be the bottom. So watch out for oil. Gold, still hunting the bottom. And it's almost to the target right there. In fact, I'm going to put an alert there. I want to see if it touches that wedge target. That'd be like the center of the oval. That was a beautiful move. For those keeping track, I did get put shares on GLD, and I flipped those. I sold a call on them and then flipped it into a calendar where I was like $16,000 tied up in 100 shares. I just need to close that out and buy an option and do a calendar on it. So I have a short-term option sold against another option at the same price, and I'll kind of manage that weekly moving forward. Bitcoin looks like it's kind of bullish. We break back above this, it's probably game on. We'll probably get above the 618 up here. That resistance right up there. We came up, kind of rejected it, came back, tested the roadmap line. It's set to go. Set to go. And, right there, it's a little more clear on the spot chart. Ethereum, not participating. Ether. They've got some staking changes happening, and proof of stake may have been the may have put this in a dormancy. Of course, it may need a spike down here to get bullish again. So that's more bearish. It's below the roadmap line. This is definitely more bullish. It's above the roadmap line. Pay attention to things. All right. All right. And looks like dollar still trucking. Still have that target up there at 108. we'll see if we get there. So far, dollar's just doing the normal size pullback that the echoes in the market. If we start breaking below that trend line of the lows, we could come back down to the roadmap line. That'd be a first indication, like like we are dropping back below 106 ish. Get below that, maybe coming back down here to the roadmap line. All right. Good morning, all. Any thoughts on the house bozos getting? We talked about that yesterday. That they're unlikely to do anything without a. I mean, McHenry, great guy, whatever. I don't think he can organize the house and get anything done. I think we're going to run out the clock on the 45 days, and we'll see what happens. Probably do a government shutdown. SP, stuff moving. Look at that pop. Beautiful pop. This is... Now, what was there any indication we were going to do this? This is a buyout. Yeah, going private equity. So nothing to do there. Beautiful pop. Went almost to the 272. Wasn't really an entry or anything. That was just a luck of the right place, right time if you caught that one. LW. Yeah, right back up to the roadmap line. That's still bearish though. Be careful. That can easily drop again. In fact, that looks a lot like the end of a move. That may continue down. Let's see. Yeah, support's down here around 76. It's not really a target per se, but highly likely we get continuation lower. ORTX, biotech biopharma, nice pop, probably on some sort of, I don't even see it. Didn't make the top list here, but probably on some kind of drug news of some sort. And pop, be careful with the FDA giveth, the FDA can taketh away. Snow continuing to chop in the range below the roadmap line. We get below these lows right here, probably coming down here to 100. I did see there was a deal with SPLK. Wasn't on the list. It popped the other day. It's Oracle and SPLK doing some kind of deal to try to compete with PLTR, which is just kind of bounced off the roadmap line. That one's actually got a nice, it held the, I'll have to zoom in there. There wasn't much on the list, so the list is not long. I was just kind of looking at some other stuff that's been moving lately and seeing if I can find anything that might be interesting to look at. PLTR, if it gets back above 17, say 1775, could be set up to go get my target up here at 2250 or even break out to 25. We still have that big resistance zone right up there though on PLTR. Came up just shy of the target. C-Day. Just a sideways chop. I wouldn't chase that for now. Just expect more of that. I mean, look, the range was set back here in October to February, and we've just been higher low, lower high, higher low, nothing. I mean, you're going to have to get above this to do anything interesting. TMV. Oh, so close. So close. First target, second target. That's really close. EURN. Just more choppy Bull crap right there. Just stuck on the roadmap line. Lower high, lower high, lower high. Be careful. That may need a bigger flush here. Maybe working on a drop down in this area right here. 11 bucks. ASML. Just still chopping. Probably going to go down here. More than likely. CLX. Where's the bottom for Clorox? Looks like a three-wave move up. Ooh. It needs to hold this area. If it doesn't hold right here, if it gets below that low it just made, which it is, yeah, it is. Yeah. I couldn't see it for the little gray spot, but it's probably coming down to 109. This is high probability. We're probably coming down here. May take a few weeks, maybe in closer to the end of the year. It's probably coming down there. 109, potentially even 95. It could come here, bounce up, and move on down. All right, Lulu. I'm not high energy this morning. I don't know. Monster hadn't kicked in. Allergies. I think it's allergies. My allergies get me. Keeps me from being super hyped up. Market's kind of boring anyway. Lulu needs to hold here and turn up again. If it doesn't, probably going to extend on down to 350, maybe even 330. That's kind of line in the sand at 360, and looks like it may push below that. How are we doing on the S&P? Not big down, but getting a little retrace. CMBM, Specialty Telecommunications, and ouch, up square hitting the target. Pachow, right there, boom. Drew that arrow back there in June. There we are. Could we go on down? Yeah, there's the next one, and there's the next one. Wow. Is that indicative of consumer spending? Might be. Wow. Sometimes, I mean, I'm kind of speechless because I'm shocked that I get these right sometimes. I shock myself. Anyway, it's not like I'm so full of it that I'm like, I knew it was doing it. I shocked myself. I put these targets on here and we didn't break above that resistance and turned down and got the target on the downside. It just sometimes I amaze myself. It's almost scary when I do that. I have to be completely honest. You know, I look at the oil chart, same situation. When I watched it hit the target, I was like, well, shoot. And then, I mean, at some point, maybe I'll get, full of myself about it. But right now, I'm still scaring myself how crazy accurate I can get sometimes. It's kind of wicked. Anyway, Rivian has support right there. I guess they're losing $30,000 to $40,000 on every vehicle they pump out. Looking at ramping up production even more. I don't know. They seem to think the more vehicles they can pump out, the less they'll lose. I don't know. I'm still losing a lot of money. 20 bucks. We break below that though. Probably coming back down to the consolidation down here. That head and shoulders right there played out. Nothing high probability, but this does look like a three-wave correction so far. Probably take it right down here. Could find some support right in there. That was not a five-wave up. No, it wasn't a five-wave up. It doesn't fit with anything I look for 5 up. So you could argue it, I guess, but that looks like it may get continuation down, and we may make a lower low than we made right back here. May make a lower low than 11. CARR. Looks like that one is coming down. Oh, we already had it drawn. I was going to draw it. It's already drawn right there. Probably going to touch in that zone. And then XOM, right back to the roadmap line. That's what VLO was doing yesterday. Oil probably has a little bit lower to go. And then we'll look for a reversal on everything. So watch for this one to bounce back above 116. Can take us 124, 128. Probably not going to happen today. Yellow yesterday. And yeah, right back to the roadmap line. Tesla, did you see that one yesterday? Holy moly, beautiful. Right up to resistance. We get it back above this high. I don't know how to highlight it. I've got all my, probably need a box tool. We get back above that high right there. Probably doing the bullish targets. 320, 350. It's set up to do it. This may be even crazier. Let's see. Nope, that's same 330. There's the target. Right there's the target. And wrong or right, I know you'd think it's going to drop on earnings, but it's, the chart's saying it's might pop. Might be a pop on earnings. We could get a little retrace. I mean, it could be up here and we retrace back, test that, and then launch. But I don't know. Chart's looking pretty bullish. I'm long TSLL. Levers long Tesla. There we go. All right, that's kind of what I got my eyes on so far today. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe he's sick that day and he's not on the call. You never know. Anyway, never know. S5FI, we didn't cover this, but looking pretty reversally. Watch for that to pop right back up. Usually when we break above 20, we get a little resistance and then we launch back up to 80. It may not be fast. It may take several months like it did back here. We went from March all the way till July before we got up there, but we're likely to go back up to 80. Bias for the day. That's the big question, right? What is my bias for the day? I don't expect us to do a whole lot. All honesty, there's just not much reason to do anything. The catalysts are pretty dry. Yesterday, inside day. Today, probably another inside day. We may play in the range. A little indecision till we get we may get that final flush out. Of course, if we break higher than the roadmap line here, we get higher than up here. This is the actual cash index, not the futures. We break above this, that's probably the bottom. So there you go. If I was a betting man, I would bet on another inside day. If we break out of the range, you know, basically you got the range defined. We break out of this range. That's positive. Break out of this range here. We're going lower low. Otherwise, we're just going to play inside. It's that simple sometimes. That simple. Everybody sees this on the chart. So, I mean, any big traders. Right there. That's simple. Break out of the top, going up. Break out of the bottom, going down. It's like, oh, well, that's freaking obvious, JT. Well, sometimes it's that simple. All right. Have a great day out there, everybody. And I'll see you again tomorrow for the Morning Monster. Try to find out what's moving. Bye for now. Make sure you subscribe, like it, thumbs up it.